weed of the week is Smallflower Buttercup.
There are a lot of different buttercup species out there, and I love the names of these weeds. Like this one, Smallflower Buttercup. It's like, you're not the big flower, you're the small flower guy, and you're also not hairy buttercup. So guess what hairy buttercup has different than smallflower? Well, it has hairs on the leaves, smallflower does not.
All right, the interesting thing with this weed is it could be a perennial, it could also be a biennial, or it could be an annual. Well, that's very unusual. So how are you going to get it under control if you don't even know what it is, whether it's an annual or a perennial? A perennial is much more difficult to stop. So what do you do for control?
All right, first of all, if this is a turf weed, which it normally is, the first thing I would say is if you are managing that turf well, you may not need a herbicide. If you're fertilizing, if you're mowing at the right height, so you're not mowing it so short, and you're also watering appropriately so your grass is healthy, you can choke this weed out.
Darren, it's the same with crops. We talk all the time. We want you to kill your weeds with cultural practices. Have narrower rows, get the crop growing tall early, get good crop canopy. That's going to control this weed. But if you need a herbicide, we like mesotrione, that'd be Callisto. You certainly could use something like the 3-Pre's that we talk about all the time. Tillage will usually knock it out pretty well as well. So we've got a lot of options out there. There's always 2,4-D, dicamba, glyphosate, depending on the crop.
Sometimes, Brian, we hear, hey, those options didn't work for me in my turf situation, and what we almost always come back to is too much water, not enough product. Our concentration wasn't strong enough. So if you're using a 2,4-D or a dicamba, personally, I wouldn't use dicamba in a turf situation. I just use the 2,4-D. Make sure it's a strong concentration.
Yeah, by too much water, he doesn't mean you're watering the lawn or watering the turf too much. It's too much water in the tank. Use less water in the spray tank and a higher concentration of herbicide.
That's all the time we have for this week's weed, but Iron Talk is coming up next.